Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. I am chilling the Devin-Vlogs, man. That's right. And welcome back to another brand new vlog. That's right. So, before I say anything here, is that, yeah, I'm pretty happy to see Texans win against the Lions, which I was happy to see them win. So, yeah, that's just what I have to say for that one, since that was good news for Texans at least to win something this one. But let me just go ahead and say the not good news with Seahawks, which, by the way, I did look on the score and, Jesus. I'm like, Seahawks, what the heck was that? Like, I really just am disappointed to see what Seahawks are just doing, which I know it's still preseason and stuff, which I get it. I still understand why it's preseasons and shit, which I understand that. But I'm like, Seahawks, you cannot be embarrassing your own fans out there. Like, what the hell was that? Like, Seahawks. Do you guys really want to lose the Super Bowl? I'm just not that surprised to understand what are you even doing, but come on. As a Seahawks fan, you guys need to grow literally a win and the win in this one. Like, what was that about? No, seriously, what in the actual was that about? Which I am just completely out of nowhere surprised and just not too happy to see Seahawks losing on their week exactly by trying to destroy Green Bay Packers, which, oh, do not think about getting me started to get pissed on exactly already. Seriously, I hate Green Bay Packers as I would hate them too. So again, it really doesn't matter because what I said, it just doesn't matter. I just hate Green Bay Packers and that's just it. Even though I did make a list, which by the way, I really simply don't care for which teams that I just simply don't like. So, for what I'm saying here, by the way, I just can't believe why Seahawks just can't literally grew another plan. Like think of a different idea, which I'm just simply am kind of giving the advice, just not like the idea, but just advice is for like what Seahawks could have done better exactly was just try to have a different opening and try to dominate Green Bay Packers, which unfortunately that's going to turn into completely, what exactly? Because the old saying is, by City Way says, like, everything that goes on touching, it turns to shit, which we all know what the line is every time when that word is. So I can probably understand the point of the line exactly and point of the excitement of the line, which was supposed to be something there of a saying exactly. That's just what I'm talking about. It's just a saying word of it, which I'm not too happy for Seahawks' defeat against stupid Green Bay Packers, which they just suck. Which, seriously, I'm not saying Seahawks don't suck. I'm just saying that Green Bay does. Which, by the way, I'm just not too surprised because, I mean, seriously, it just doesn't surprise me enough to see how Seahawks could have done and prevented the win this one. But unfortunately, ungrateful. Just ungrateful. Which, I mean, I kind of will say I might take a few examples what I can say from what Seahawks were just doing exactly that they were just thinking like saying was like, man, this just isn't happening, man. Like we were living in a dream. Like I wonder why Seahawks even thinks the idea on that, which I'm not saying they would have thinked it, but they would have just think of something else just to say how they were going to outbeat Green Bay Packers in a few seconds of the minutes of the clock going down. It's like, come on, Seahawks, you guys really got to do better, or you guys are not going to keep on winning Super Bowls every year. Like, it sucks. Which, I mean, Seahawks need to really do better this time. They seriously need to just do better. And if they don't, why am I the hell I'm not surprised? Because, I mean, seriously, this isn't a rodeo that I'm ever coming on into again, which I probably simply just say how unpredictable it is. Like, as a Seahawks and a Texans fan, I expected to see Seahawks try to win anyways, which they could still do like Texans did. Like Texans just beat the freaking ass on Panthers. Where was the energy from where Seahawks did that? I mean, I'm still happy for Seahawks beating the stupid dumbass Chiefs, which I probably don't give a complete you know what. But seriously, where is that defeat, Seahawks? Where is that seriously that defeat to destroy Green Bay? And yet again, nothing. That's unbelievable. That's just sad and unbelievable at the same time, but just unbelievable. And also, Seahawks, here's an interesting quote, an interesting thing I can say, by the way, is that I know you guys are facing it against the stupid, dumb 49ers, but all I'm saying is, Seahawks, where's your energy? Where's your energy to actually defeat the 49ers? Because, I mean, I don't like 49ers either, which, by the way, I used to do, like, when I was, like, pretty much small independently, but when I'm just, like, grew over the 49ers, I decided was like, you know what, how about I just stay with Seahawks anyway? Because I just like the Seahawks, because I just think they're better. And what do I see? Loss after loss. It's just unbelievable. Like, come on, Seahawks. You cannot tell me that you guys are seriously just losing to the Green Bay, which Green Bay, I don't completely care about them. I don't care, and I never will be a fan of them. All I'm saying is, I still prefer being Seahawks and a Texans fan, and that's all I can say. Even hell, I made a top 5 and a top 10 favorite NFL teams I like, anyways. Which, by the way, simply just to say that I was being very much likely on the careful side, just to know what teams I just like better anyway, which I'm not trying to confuse the numbers. I'm just trying to say I'm just trying to rank the numbers what I like better. Which teams I completely would stick with and just say which ones I actually prefer, seeing who wins in the Super Bowl or less likely to win the Super Bowl and stuff. But again, I really want to say as how long can Seahawks really try to make another win again and try to outbeat the 49ers, which it isn't going to look good for Seahawks if they lose again, like the same thing from Green Bay, which I still wouldn't be too surprised on, which I really think it's unbelievable. So, my only option for Seahawks, they could either A, try to figure a different idea and win, or B, try to outbeat the 49ers as they can and score more touchdowns to keep on doing more touchdowns. That's what they're completely needing to do is score more touchdowns and get more field goal kicks, which they still need to do that. Unbelievable. Not only unbelievable, and also I did heard about this so-called trade out, which was going on, by the way, between Cowboys and Green Bay, which, oh my lord, here we go again with stupid Green Bay Packers. Which I have to say again, it is just not surprising to me. I really say again, it's just unbelievable and so yet again unbelievable again, which I probably still wouldn't be too close to being surprised, which I've never been that surprised. If I was surprised, I would have been shocked right out of my face. But no, we get to see more new things just to keep on screwing on most of some other sides, which is just pathetic, in my opinion. It just really is the pathetic of the low of the lowest pathetic that could ever be. So, yeah, another teammate, huh? That is known as to be Mr. Mitch or something. I don't know. I can't really sometimes say his name right, sometimes I can't, but you know what I mean. So, the guy from the Cowboys got traded off to Green Bay. That is pretty sad. I mean, I never knew who the guy even is in the Cowboys, to be honest with y'all. Which, by the way, I don't follow most other of their teams exactly. I only stick with my favorites only. But as a Seahawks and a Texans fan, I probably am even more surprised to be this worried, or should I say, not care to be less for the Green Bay, which is even stupid. I seriously say again, it's stupid. Like the trade, by the way, come on. Like, why even trade the guy anyways? Like, that's exactly what the Cowboys fans were even saying too. Which, by the way, I could at least give some opinion less for the Cowboys, which I still can, like, give them a 1 up plus for them. But when did they just get traded for Green Bay? That's just sad. I'm like really just sad. And I think I just heard about some kind of so-called rumor that was just going on with like their coach or something, or maybe just like the guy exactly just like complaining or talking to the coach to like simply just like get traded for some reason, which is just so sad. But yeah, thanks to Mr. Jerry on the other hand, which I sometimes again really am not gonna ask. It's just sad. I really am just saying, like, what kind of team does that? Which I know it's still like the same thing, like trade. I understand that part. I completely understand about trading. But when it just comes to pretty much like the Cowboys and Packers, I obviously just say Cowboys, I'd probably say, since I probably might side with them a little bit on that point, just on their behalf exactly, just for the trade out was going on. But yeah, I'm not too happy with the Cowboys either, or whatever that was probably going on about. But seriously, it's just so stupid, in my opinion. Like, I've always hated Green Bay Packers, which I've already do hate Green Bay Packers, don't get me wrong. I've always liked the Seahawks when Seahawks finally freaking dominated them, which I don't know what year that was. I think it was like near the teens or something. But my point completely still makes another understanding point is that, seriously, it's just sad, man. Like, I really am not that surprised for them, for either which way it is. But as in for Green Bay Packers, I have to say they suck. I'll say they just suck, and that's all I'm saying. So there you go. And also, what side would I rather choose exactly, just by the situation with Cowboys and Packers? It's obviously the Cowboys. Hello, obviously the Cowboys. Because Cowboys were trying at least their best to probably at least try to make their own Super Bowls, but for whatever goes on with Cowboys, I just hope to say if some actually, I don't know what comes to different opinions for which Cowboys might get exactly ever another person that's better than the other guy, but my point actually will make another understanding way I can say this is that A, Cowboys might have to find another person that might be better than the other person that just got traded, or B, they might have to think of another strategy idea. So I really don't know, man. It's just pretty bit disappointing just to see that going down. But like I said, hopefully Cowboys find another different strategy way to beat the stupid dumb Packers, which by the way, it's going to be an interesting debate between Cowboys and Packers, which I think I'll have to say I'm all in for Cowboys, and I probably will stay on their side. Because as for Green Bay Packers, I just don't like them. I just kind of prefer a different team that's just better. But, like I said, I think Seahawks and Texans I still like better. I've always liked their side. I've always picked them because I think they're good. Really impressive. So without further ado, like always, I'm just chilling the Devin-Vlogs, man, and just wanted to come on in here and just make a discussment exactly with some people just to know what was happening. Which, by the way, it was so freaking embarrassing for Seahawks to just beat the stupid Packers. I'm like, bruh, what the hell is this? I was like, bruh, what the hell? Like, I know they got hit by a landslide and stuff, which I think they've got a 7 or maybe some 30 number or whatever they got into the other side, which I think it was pretty much 30 for Green Bay and then 7 for Seahawks. But come on, Seahawks, what was that about? Which I know you were like, kind of like doing whatever you were doing, but that's ridiculous. Like, oh boy, I just have no words just to be disappointed. But, anyways, I will have to say again, I'll see you guys next time. And this is just a video I just want to cover a bit for discussment to talk on about for this. But seriously, I'm just like, come on. That's just really, really. Anyway, I'll see you next time. And without further ado, I'm chilling with the Devin-Vlogs, man. See you guys next time. And absolutely in the next video. See you guys absolutely in the next video. And yeah, I do feel bad for Cowboys for how they're suffering a little bit for like the trade out position going on with like they're for pretty much the football player exactly getting traded for Green Bay is just pretty sad. And I think I'll have to say I'll give them my support for Cowboys anyway, just give a little support for them anyway, just for how they're feeling exactly. But, just pretty much, man. Pretty much. And I kind of feel ya. I know what you're feeling exactly, and I can understand that. Which, by the way, as a Seahawks and a Texans fan, I probably would rather, like, just cheer them up for a little bit and just, I don't know, just cheer them up, I guess. But anyway, without further ado, see you next time. Peace out, goodbye. Chill the Devin Vlogs, man, is signing out. Later and goodbye. And have a great night, anyways. See you next time.